Alright, g'day everyone and welcome to my Kawasaki Vulcan S 650cc long-term review. This review is a little bit different to some other reviews you might have seen in the fact that a lot of reviews are short-term reviews, somebody who's just bought the bike or even somebody who's doing a test ride. I've owned this particular bike for 2.5 years and I've done almost 30,000 Ks on it. I've done about 29,500 Ks now, so close enough to 30. The first thing I want to share with you is the fact that I have had zero issues with this bike. That's zero mechanical issues and nothing wrong with absolutely anything on the bike. The whole bike is as it was when I bought it brand new. It's been fantastic. The only things I've changed on the bike is I've done a few additional add-ons. I have changed the tyres after about 20,000 Ks and that's just because of wear and tear, and I did get a flat in the back actually. A couple of things that I have added onto the bike is I've added on the Two Brothers exhaust. Now the Two Brothers exhaust is a nice beefy exhaust and it really lets you know that this bike is a cruiser and not a sports bike. It's got that really deep rumble. Now you might wonder why I'm saying it lets people know this is a cruiser and not a sports bike, but the fact that it does have a little bit of a sporty look to it. The other thing about this bike is the fact that this is actually built off a Ninja 650cc. So it does look like a cruiser, but it's a sports bike at heart. And you really notice that with the handling. It's really quick as it takes off the line, and it's got that really lightweight handling that a sports bike has, not like a cruiser. Now that is really, really good for if you want to take this bike through the twisties. You can really get a really nice lean over. You can throw the bike around through all the corners. And it's got these flex peaks here, which are brilliant. So once you're leaning over and you start to scrape on the ground, they flex. So even though you're scraping, you've still got a lot more lean to give. For that same reason with the nice lightweight handling, this bike is brilliant for inner city riding. I've done plenty of inner city riding, I've done plenty of twisty riding, I've done plenty of highway riding as well. But for inner city riding, this bike's great because it's lightweight, it's nimble, it's easy to move around through traffic, and it's liquid cooled. So if you do happen to get stuck in traffic, the bike's not going to overheat on you. It's brilliant. With highway riding, the bike's great. It sits on 110 kilometers an hour, which is the speed limit in Australia. It sits on that fantastically at 5,500 RPM. The bike will fully redline out at 12,000 RPM. So you can see at 110 Ks an hour, it's still got plenty of life left to give. The highest top speed I've had the bike to is 165 Ks an hour, and that was sitting at about 10,000 RPM. So I'm pretty sure you could squeeze a little bit more out. You could probably even hit 170. I personally haven't done that though. That's the highest I've gotten. As for some other extras that I've put on the bike, back here I've put on passenger seat and pegs. That's brilliant. I take my partner on the bike or my son. The bike handles two-up riding really well. You can ride along on this with someone on the back. You notice a tiny little bit of lag in the bike, but not very much. It'll still do 110 an hour on the freeway. It'll do all your other riding just fine too. And as you'll see here, there's absolutely plenty of room for someone to jump on the back. Now the other thing I've added on is the Kawasaki quick release backrest and rack. Back here as you'll see. This is great. I love going away camping on the bike, and this lets me totally load the bike up. I can throw a bag here, I can throw my chair here, I can put my tent on, a few other things, my swag, whatever I want to take, load it right up, and the bike handles absolutely brilliantly. Now if you come over here, I'll show you the gauge quickly. Now on the gauge here, I'll show you a few things. Here, as you can see your RPMs, it goes right up to 12,000 RPM. You've got here your neutral indicator, which is fantastic. So it lets you know if you've hit the bike in your neutral or not. You've got your clock here, you've got your petrol gauge down the bottom here, nice easy to read petrol gauge. Your speedo is digital, that's fantastic, tells you exactly what you're doing. Then up here, as you can see, it says range. Now the range will not show up unless you're actually riding. Now with a full tank of fuel in this, the range will show up at about 300 kilometers range. In all reality, it actually gets about 280 kilometers range. Now that's doing a mixture of highway riding, inner city riding, and a bit of twisty. So it's a fairly accurate read that I get at 200 kilometers range. I think if you just stuck to inner city riding, sitting between that 3,500 to 4,500 RPM, you probably could push the 300. But I do a lot of highway riding as well, which sits around 5,500 RPM and chews up probably that touch more fuel. So the fuel economy is brilliant on this bike. Doing a service on the bike is really easy. I've actually got another video there where you can see how to do a fuel change. It's simple, it's easy, there's not much to it. So everybody, I think that's about it. I think I've wrapped about everything up. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you and try and help you out with anything you've got. All right, everybody, thank you very much for watching my video.